as you see in the title, this is a new what if that was suggested by. Sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. Shahanaz Begum. Sorry if I said the name wrong, but it was basically what if deck was ragnartale Sans and Dust Sans, and how I think I understand it is like he has the power of ragnartale Sans, or at least like ragnartale Sans has more about his magic focuses on physical enhancement and swords and stuff like that, while Dust Sans is more about magics. So as I understand it, I think means is that basically has good magic control, like normal magic, attack magic, defense magic, stuff like that, plus physical enhancement, and sword magic to the swords and stuff like that, and setting trap strings, traps and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what it means. Sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, I hope I'm right. So yeah, now I guess I can go here. This is it's one of his. It's kind of him. It's yeah. I think it's yeah. This is his. You could say normal form, which he is mostly in. This is also him. Just gonna say that. And none of these pictures are mine. I'm gonna say that again. Just gonna have this picture on, or I think it says the down there no, ooh, something like that. I have this picture on for now. So basically, for this part, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will like this part, this video. And I know that I already had one suggestion. It's just I'm still struggling a bit on the story of like what to do in it. And it's the what if deck was in Greek mythology. I will probably do it. I have a bit of an idea of how to start it, but it's too little for me to have a video. It would be like 5 to 10 minutes, which is too short for one part. So I'm just waiting a bit until I get a bit more story, because it's a bit hard, because I don't fully know how I will do it, how I will continue it, and if I need to know a way, like kind of like the ending a bit before, because then I know which direction I should do, which direction I want to go with the what if. That's basically my technique. Is I find out the beginning and the end first, and then I find out the middle and story about that. It's basically just so I know which direction I want and how they should change, stuff like that. That's how I do it, at least. But yeah, I will do it. Like I said, I will do the Greek mythology deku once, but I'm not fully sure when. Because like I said, I'm not fully sure when I will even, or how I will fully continue it. So I have been taking a few notes, but not many, not many at all. But yeah, I don't think I have anything more else to say. And also, alright, first, I think maybe everyone can maybe skip to like 5 minutes ahead or 2 or 3 minutes ahead in the first video, because I would most likely just talk a bit. At least now, because I've gotten like at least when I have comments then I will almost always write things down. Or talk about it. But yeah, I don't have anything more to say, so we'll just jump right into it, to the backstory. Now, the first thing that I have to explain is basically that it's gonna be monsters have a very long lifespan, at least skeletons does. Um, they can get very old. They can live for about, let's say they can live for about 5,000 years, and then that's when basically they become their body cannot make enough magic to continue the body. So at first, until they're at least 2,000 years old, the body continues to grow stronger. But when they've reached like 2,500 years old, they begin to slowly decrease in power, very slowly. Like every 10 years, they become a bit weaker. Not very much, not enough to actually see a difference. They still become weaker. Um, so, and in My Hero Academia universe, let's say it's in the 20. Wait, I can actually maybe for that. What time period is My Hero Academia series set in? Huh. Alright. um. Alright. I can't seem to find one that's actually a bit reasonable, I guess. I will just one a bit. Um. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Basically, My Hero Academia universe is set in the 25th century. About round 25th secondary. And the monsters, or the Undertale, it basically happened in 2020 or something, in the 20th century. Where they came out of the ground. Now, they all had, and it's a ragnartale, AU, basically, that came up to the surface. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically, I think it's actually in the medieval age. It's actually a lot older. So, down here it is the medieval age. Okay, let's say it came up from the ground in the 16th century. Yeah. the 16th century about they came up from the ground. It's basically just because of to have it like as accordingly as possible. About in between 15th century and 16th century. The reason for that is because to have the story of ragnartale make a bit more sense, because it's basically kingdom. It's basically kingdoms because Frisk is a princess, Char is a princess, and they are sisters, and they are on the ground. Frisk searches for her sister on the ground, and they're both girls. In Ragnartale, yeah, they're both girls, and all the monsters were human before, but for some weird reason, they all their magic, something went wrong, and they all were turned into monsters. Now, so yeah. Um. Now, let's say. Um. Now, basically, like I said, they all come up from the ground in the between 15th century and 16th century, but they were present underground in the basically in the same century, or let's say they were imprisoned in the in the same period. Yeah, they were imprisoned in the middle of the 15th century, and they came out in the end of the came out at the end of the 16th century, or at the end of the 15th century, or in the beginning of the 16th century. Um, so yeah, I know the story would not be exactly as it should have been, because I think like from Frisk and the imprisonment of them was about like a few years, like 4 or 5 years, I think. I'm not fully sure. Now, um, when they get up, they basically will make a kingdom around the mountain, and the mountain is basically their kingdom. Now they're still in the cave and live there. It's just that they have access to the outside, but they cover the outside enough, and it's a secret place. And I don't remember which country, Mount Fuji, I think. I'm not fully sure which mountain it's called. It's been a bit of a while, so I'm not fully sure. But yeah. Now. Oh. Oh. Whew. Now let's say. Let's say. Oof. Yeah. Like I said, let's say we go to the future in the 20th century. Now, the monsters have lived in secret for a very long time, and Frisk has and Frisk and the other kingdoms who knew about the monster kingdom, they all their children moved to the monster kingdom. So they're basically a mix between monsters and humans there now. There are very little humans, but more monsters. Because when a monster and a human gets children, there's more of a chance to have a monster child than a human child. But the souls are a bit mixed, and the no, it's maybe a bit hard to explain, but yeah. Now, let's say, hmm. Now, of course, Frisk isn't alive anymore, but the descendants of Frisk and Chara and other people are there as well. Well, mostly Frisk and Chara's descendants. They're basically the only important ones. Now, when quirks start to appear, and quirks started to appear in the 20th century, um, the monsters don't know about this, and the monster kingdom doesn't know about this because they have sealed themselves inside the cave. Not sealed themselves, just made so no one can come in, other, other, other than if they have a special item on them, magical, unless they have a magical item from the monster kingdom. They can. That's the only way they can come in and out. But the monsters can go in and out as they please, because their it's made from them, so they can come in go out and from whenever. It's basically humans that live there. They are the only ones who has to have the magical item to go outside, and it's mostly just them who goes outside. But yeah. Now, of course, humans have gotten all about magic other than the humans in that world. And I'm gonna say Sans position in the place is still a knight. He's a very highly respected knight because he's basically the oldest person in the whole underground. And Papyrus as well. Or Papyrus isn't the oldest. Sans is. That is because he's a skeleton. As I said, skeletons live for 5,000 years. And they have lived for about over 500 years. A bit over 500 years, so they still have 4,500 years left to live. So they're pretty much one of the oldest people. Now, of course, Asgore and Toriel, they have perished of old age. And the king and queen, it's basically Frisk and Char's descendants plus Azrael descendants. They're basically split the royal's position, or the king and queen. They all split it. They all have equal amount of power. They are all best friends. They don't betray each other at all. And Sans is their protector. And as I said, he's very highly respected. If somebody wants to know anything, they come to him. If they want to know about magic, they come to him because he's the most powerful wizard, plus the most powerful swordsman and fighter. Because he can, it's very rare, but he can both wield powerful magic plus powerful magic, body enhancement or strength enhancement magic. And magic on, yeah. That's basically two things, because you either have strong magic power, like as a mage, or strong physical enhancement magic, which can strengthen other people or strengthen yourself. But nobody has wielded two different things. And that is because Gaster, because he had already he died because he was I'm gonna say that Gaster was the evil person. just because in Sans absorbed his soul, I'm gonna say that is possible. Some way he absorbed his soul, and then that's how he got the magic, uh, mage magic, or as you normally see magic used in other things as a mage, and physical enhancement magic. He already had that, of course. So he's the most powerful person in the underworld, in the underground, or the monster kingdom. Now, he teaches the royals about magic in old times, in the old world, about history, magic, and the physical enhancement magic as well. And he is basically with them very often, but he still hasn't time to himself, and he still reads very much. He reads and trains very much because for each 10 years he becomes a bit stronger. His magic grows. Like I said, until he is 2,500 years old, he will continue to get stronger. And when he's 2,500 years old, he has about 500 years. Then he will begin to sink in power, until he is almost completely dry, and he dies, or his body cannot, or his soul cannot produce enough magical energy to keep his body alive. So, now I'm gonna call him Sans. I'm not gonna call him Deku. Or I guess it wouldn't be really. What if Deku was Ragnar Sans? It would basically be like, what if what if ragnartale was in My Hero Academia, just without Deku at all? So I guess I switched up the AU a bit. If you wanted me to change, to have it as Deku, then I would have to change a lot, and like the ragnartale wouldn't really happen as it would have happened. It would be very different. So I think this is mostly the only way for me to do this. And his old name was Suku before he was transformed to the Sansa skeleton. That's one way I can do it. Just have his name completely different. Now, because he's so old and he's lived, or actually, he can't do that yet. I'm gonna wait with that. Now, where was I again? Yeah. Now, when Quirk started appearing, Sans, he can feel magical power outside, which he hasn't felt in a very long time because people forgot about magic, and the remaining people who had magic was cursed or was called witches and burned to death, or basically killed. And when he heard about those things, and people and the humans who were in Monster Kingdom, they would go out. They were mostly the only people who were safe outside because everyone else forgot about monsters and everything, about the old times of magic, and that everyone knew magic. They forgot about that. Let's say it was Gaster's doing. He intended good, but he did the wrong thing. He thought it would be a good idea, but it was wrong. But it was wrong. Because of that, many mages was killed because of Gaster's doing. So yeah. Now, of course, and he heard of these because from the other humans went outside, and that's when he said, no one are allowed to go outside. Never again. Until everything has cooled down with this witch hunt. That's what he said, and he blocked off the entrance to the outside. Nobody could go outside, and basically everything went as normal. Nothing really changed on the world in the ground. They didn't get new technology. They didn't get any new people who went downstairs, went in the underground because they blocked off that entrance as well, because they didn't want anyone to find them out. Because if somebody found out and they acted nicely, or they could attack and kill, so they didn't want that. So they blocked off that entrance. If anyone, or they couldn't really block the entrance, they just blocked like the way. They just blocked the way to the ruins where Toriel lived, the way tutorial. Um, Basically, where they land is just a circle hole, you could say. There's no way to go around, so they basically die there if from hunger. Or Flowey, actually, he would go and just give them a merciful death, a painless death, just so they didn't have to suffer there until they die. Yeah. Now we're gonna go. Or did I need to explain anything more? Hmm. Thinking if there was anything more I should have explained. Um. Explain the thing there. I guess I can go there now. Now, from the 20th century, the Crookston, he felt the magic appearing again, but not the same version of magic. And of course, magic in their monster kingdom has evolved a bit. It has become a bit more powerful, not very much, but a bit more powerful than before. And new spells and new ways to use magic and stuff like that. Before you had to say an incarnation, now you don't have, and then you have to say just a word, just a spell name, and then, or at least only a few people, only the people who Sans teaches can just think of the spell, and they use the spell. And Sam's casting speed is very fast. He can just, right when he thinks about it, the spell begins. It doesn't like take time. It's just 1 second and poof, or a few milliseconds, and then it shoots out whatever spell he uses. So yeah, now we go to 500 years later, or about 500 years, when we see could say a big mouse, or basically Nezu, runs, and he runs away from a place, and humans are following him. But he continues to run, and he runs to the massive mountain, which, as everyone knows, as a place where people go missing. But of course, he doesn't know this, so Nezu runs into the mountain, and when he's cornered, he falls through an invisible wall and goes inside the mountain. When the humans try to enter, they can't. It's like it's a real mountain wall. There's nothing else about it. They try to explode the mountain itself, but they can't. The mountain, it's basically indestructible. They can't do anything about it. They can't, like, destroy anything. It's indestructible. It's impossible to break through, so they forget about them for now and plan on coming back with extra power and and dynamites and bombs and everything else that they can come up with. But that's later. Now, Nezu. Let's go to Nezu on the other side of the wall. Now, Sans, or let's go to Sans, who's minding his own business, going around the castle on his patrol, when he feels this sudden, strange aura, a new aura that isn't monster, but it also isn't human, but also isn't an animal, and he feels it in the I don't remember what it's called. He feels, or yeah, let's just say he feels it in the on the other in the room where the let's go barrier is. Because yeah, they could still call it a barrier because it's basically a barrier. Yeah. Now they all go then, and he just teleports right there on the spot and teleports there to Nez and sees this giant mouse thing laying on the floor, just and like tired and passes out because he's exhausted. And he sees this creature and he thinks, weird. How is he able to come out? What a strange aura he is. Doesn't seem monster. He doesn't seem like a monster or human. He seems like an animal, but feels different from an animal as well. I guess I shall take him in for now, and I'll ask him questions when he wakes up. That's what he does. He gets him to his room and puts him on the bed. And Nezu sleeps for about one whole day. And when Nezu wakes up, he finds himself in the bed, very comfortable in bed, in fact. And he feels like he almost wants to he wants to fall asleep again because it's so comfortable. But he can't. He quickly comes to his senses and thinks, "No, I need to find out where I am." It seems like a normal bedroom, but where am I? It doesn't seem like the lab. So where am I? That's when basically he comes out in his monster form, or in this form right here, skeleton form. As you can hear, I think you know what I mean. But yeah, he comes out and he says, "Well, it looks like you're finally awake. Here, have some tea. Should make you calm down and help you wake up a bit." What are you? That's a bit rude to ask, don't you think? Well, I guess it can't be helped. Well, I'm Sans, Sans the skeleton. Nice to meet you. And you are? I'm Nezu. Um, your skeleton is. Does it have to be with your quirk? Quirk? What the hell is a quirk? I don't have a quirk. This is my normal body. Or I guess nobody knows about it anymore. But this is my new I guess it's my now officially body. It's been for a while now. But yeah, this is my body. I can't do anything about it. What do you want from me? But you don't know what a quirk is? No. What the hell's a quirk? I don't know what magic is. Yeah. Magic? Magic exists? So you came actually from the human world. Well, I guess I understand. Well then, you don't seem human or a monster or an animal. Oh, and how the hell did you get through our barrier? No one is supposed to be even allowed or even supposed to be able to get through, at least from the human world. or from the human kingdoms. So why? How the hell did you get through? Uh, I, I don't know. I was getting, I was getting followed, or I was getting chased by some people, and I ran towards this mountain, and I got backed up to against the wall, and I phased through it. I don't know what happened. Uh, hmm. Seems like you're not lying, so I guess I'll believe you for now. Well done. Can you explain why those people who those people are, and why they were following you or chasing you? It does basically explains about him being experimented on and stuff like that. Huh. I see. So they still have their curiosity after all those years. Well, I guess it can't be helped. It's human nature to be curious about things. Well, alright then. I guess you can stay here for a while and I'll tell you about everything. And he basically explains to Nezu about, like, the underworld, the history about the monster kingdom and about magic and everything. He doesn't teach him magic. He just tells him about the history of magic and everything and like that. He basically explains about how he became a monster and stuff like that. And yeah, and while they're talking, a certain someone I don't have a picture of, who I also forgot about having a picture of. It's basically. Actually, I can actually have a picture. Actually, I just. There we go. Just wait a few seconds. I'll get a picture of the person who comes inside. Now, monsters and humans, like I said, can get children together. Sometimes they get amalgamations or hybrid, which basically Azrael. This is a descendant of Azrael. The descendant of Azrael. It's basically how he looks like, because his mother was a human and his father was a monster. This happened. It's basically how it happens. If the mother was a monster, it would look like a monster. Have basically almost just monster traits. But if the mother was a human, it will have monster and human traits. It's basically just because general. It's just to have. Yeah, just because. It would be the best explanation, I think, at least. And he comes inside and sees him, Sans, and Nezu talking. And he says, Sans, who's this? I haven't seen him before, and then I haven't seen him before. Ah, well, I guess I can tell you. Well, this is a person, or I'm not fully sure if it's a person or monster or human or whatever you are, whatever he is. He is from the other side. Really? Yes. It appears like he was chased from some humans, some not very friendly humans. And so he found himself on the mountain we are in now. And he was cornered on the wall where the barrier was. And he phased through somehow. I don't know fully how, but it must be that he is somewhat a mixture between human and animal, or a mixture or a hybrid or whatever he is. Well, was told I am part. I think it was bear, mouse. I don't remember the other things. I don't remember the other things he was. Mixture was. But yeah. Now now Sans tells Nezu, well, you can't really stay here for very much long because we don't really take outsiders, and be the people here would be very would things would be chaotic if they knew that someone from the other side could enter here, because I and some other one of my old friends made the barrier impossible for outsiders to come inside, to enter. So, if the other people in our kingdom here finds out about that, you actually was able to come inside, people would be terrified. So I ask this of you, please, you have to leave as soon as possible, because we can't have you hide you in here forever either. So please, you can't stay long. And when you leave, do not tell anybody of this place. This is a very secret place. So you shall never talk about it. And you should never mention it to anyone. We will someday come outside, of course, but only when we know it's safe and the witch hunt's is done. Witch hunts? What do you mean witch hunts? The witch hunts aren't being doing it. No, I have heard of witch hunts before from books I've actually gotten. I don't know. I managed to get some few books of history. I found out the witch hunts were for apparently witches, which apparently used magic, and people executed them. I don't know why. Apparently they were spawns of the devil or something. I don't know. I haven't really read it, but they stopped witch hunts for like how many years? It's 25th century, and they stopped it at like in 18th century, I think it was. So it's been about like 700 years since since it stopped. What? We could have left 700 years ago. Well, I think it actually was the best idea for you actually to stay here. I have the quirk of intelligence. I have very high IQ and very intelligent. And before we continue, please tell me what the quirk is. Yeah, I have no idea what you two are talking about, and since I'm not gonna tell the other two about this or anyone else, and I'll let you just be and talk about this. Yeah, I think that's best. Alright then. I'll see you later, bud. Yeah, see you later. Well then, now you can continue telling me what a quirk is. Alright then. And he basically tells him what a quirk is. Alright then. It seems a few quirks are basically based on magic. That's why I felt magic for 500 years ago. About 500 years ago. You can feel magic? Of course, that's how I found you. I felt an aura that I didn't know of, but still had some magic around it. And I felt magic disappear a very long time ago, but I felt the presence of magic again about 500 years ago or so. But I didn't want to go outside because I thought the witch hunt would begin again. So I just waited, but it continued to grow. The magical energy that came continued to grow, and I was wondering what happened, but it also didn't feel like the magic we had here. It felt stranger and more limited. And very weak as well. I'm gonna say that, very weak. Few magic was very quite powerful, but a bit powerful, but still very many weak magic power. Oh, alright then. Um, well, I guess you could say I'm very intelligent. That's basically my work. Hmm. We don't have a magic like that, so I guess you're unique. At least in our eyes down here, you're very unique for having that kind of magic thing. Huh. Okay then, thank you for the compliment, I guess. Well then, yeah. Well then, what do you... Like I said, how long are you... How long can I stay here? I think you can stay about, like, 2 days at most. Because we can't stay here long. Like, you saw what happened with the prince. It was... They could find you out. I don't quite want to have that happen. So yeah, or at least the royals wouldn't really care if I explained it to them, but the civilians would care very much so. What do you mean royals? Don't you just have royals? Are you still in kingdom? Yes, because we live in down here, we can't really progress in technology. I've heard a few things from and from the ruins as well, from humans who fall down there, and from a special weed or a friend of mine who takes out the humans so they don't have to suffer from starvation, basically killing themselves. So I guess I can explain it. There's another way that humans can come down here, but we blocked the entrance. We blocked the way for them to get inside for where we live. It's the ruins of the first place we lived when we were still down here. And that was before me and my friend sealed it off for the outsiders to come inside. We sealed it off because of the witch hunts, because we didn't want to get hunted. So we sealed everything off. We sealed everything off for that as well, but that's I don't really want to tell you about that yet. But yeah, like I said, there's a hole into the underground where we first lived. But it's in ruins now. Nobody lives there anymore. But we blocked off the place where to get to where we live. So every human who comes falls down. We have someone who goes there and kills them, just so they don't have to suffer, because no one can get out either way. So, and we have found some different technology, things that we don't fully understand. I have it actually in this room. It's this cellular, this thing here. I don't know what it is, but we found really many different things. From these things that apparently goes into the ear. I don't know. It apparently, I don't know really what it is. Oh, so you have technology here as well. Well, it isn't ours. We just put it here because I just get them because nobody knows how to use them, and then they aren't really important to us. We don't really need them. We'll live peacefully and normally here. Really, we don't really have any people who are bad, so we don't really have many guards left. Just me and a few others. And my brother, who's lived for quite a while with me, and a few others who are very old now. I think some of them are even on the verge of death now, sadly. So, in a few decades to now, the, me and my brother will be likely the only guards left. Of course, the royal ones are also the ones who can protect the castle and the people. You say royal ones, but what do you mean? Well, we have three royal families. They all have the equal power. They don't really have much power. Nobody really have much power here. Mostly, like, ceremonial. Nobody really. We all have, like, all decided on rules and everything that we all are to follow. Basically, morals. So yeah. Now, yeah, that's basically about the underworld. We have two human families, or I guess it's one actually. They're both from the same family or blood. But the other one is from the monster, the one you saw come inside. His mother was a human, while his father was a monster, a royal. And we don't really care about like who marries who gets children. Just if they love each other, it's fine for us. Fine for me, at least. Because I'm basically I guess their father figure, parental figure. Because I raised them and everything like that. Because when a monster and a human gets a child, the parents live for a little, like until the children are about 7 years old or so. It depends on how strong they are, or how much power they suck out from the parents' soul. What? Yes, when a monster and a human gets a child, the child doesn't the child's ability, powers, soul isn't fully completed, so they take it from their parents, their soul power, to stabilize their own until when they reach no age, when they're even 10 years. It's about how fast they drain the power, and how stable and how unstable their soul is. And when all their soul power has been taken, the bodies become empty shells, which becomes dead bodies, basically. And when monsters die, they become dust, but when their soul power is taken, they don't turn to dust, they just become an empty shell of just like a human dead body, basically. Because their soul power has been taken, but their body is still intact. And if it's a skeleton, the bones would just fall apart because nothing is holding them as humans' bodies would have, like mine. My bones, not every bone of my body on my body is actually connected to each other. So my fingers, like you see here, aren't connected, but the magic is connecting them. So yeah, that's basically one of the reasons also why I'm not having children until I'm basically a few years before I die. Just so I can live a full life. Oh, that's pretty sad. I know, but that won't happen if a human and I'm a human gets children, or a human and a hybrid get children, or a monster and a monster gets children, or a monster and a hybrid children. Because now we mostly have those cases don't really happen as often anymore, because we have mostly just hybrids. Like you saw the prince, he is a hybrid. They're mostly hybrids now, because there aren't very many main humans. There are still many monsters, because yeah, there aren't actually getting born new humans other than the ones who get children with humans, just humans. So yeah, But soon the humans would become empty here, and we would have no humans left here. But one, yeah. Now that's it basically. I have nothing else to say. Alright then. I can stay out for one more. Can I stay out at least until tomorrow? Of course. I shall lock the door because no one is supposed to go inside unless they knock. And I will lock the door so no one can go inside or out, and I will bring you food. Don't worry. Alright then, thank you. Now, I shall take my leave. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off. And wow, oh, an hour! Jesus Christ, I have been doing this for a long time, and I've just gotten started. Jesus. Ugh. Wow, I didn't think I would get this far. But yeah, I'm still surprised that I managed to do it in 1 hour. At least the 55 minutes or 56 minutes of the what if. So I hope you enjoyed this very long video. I just continue to talk. But yeah. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, new what if. Again, shout out to Shahan Nas Begum is the name. I think I'm sorry, like I said, if I say their name wrong. But yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have much more to say. So, yeah. And also, yeah, I don't think I have more to say actually. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this very long video. If you want me to continue, if you want me to change something, leave it in the comments. If you want me to add something even, put it in the comments. And I'm saying there won't be a ship, like explained. He won't have any kids until he's very old. The last 100 years of his, until the last 50 years, he won't have any children. Or until the last 100 years of his life, he will not find love. So yeah. Like I said, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this what if. I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribe as well. I would greatly appreciate it as well. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts about the video. And I hope you have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow is Sunday. Or I don't know if I will make fun tomorrow, because tomorrow is my birthday. Actually, so I'll most likely make one tomorrow, very early on, or maybe two, or be just one very early on the in the morning, like when I wake up. I will most likely make a video where I most likely will do the finale of What If Deku Was Quirkless. Then I have to find up another what if, which is a hassle. So tired of talking non-stop. Yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this 1 hour. leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.